Hi, everybody. This is Jonah. Thank you for tuning in today in this live podcast. I think we are in season 2, episode 12, if I'm not wrong. But anyway, so I am the host of Moving Women Forward Community Podcast. So, this podcast, as we speak, I have one mission to help 100 women in 100 days move from feeling stuck to empowered by amplifying your voices through expert-led support. So we host several masterclasses, challenges, and other things in our community, offer you visibility opportunities, and why not collaboration opportunities. So, without further ado, the special guest we have today is Gina Trick. Gina, I'll leave the floor to you with the introductions, but I'm going to give just a quick line of what you do and who you are.
Okay.
So, Gina is an online business strategist and mentor you can call when you're done, like literally done overthinking. I just want a strategy that actually works. That's the kind of thing I want to hear anyway. So Gina uses a little help of AI, wisely, but not wildly used. So Gina, the floor is yours. Thank you for being such a special guest today. Tell us what you do, why you do, and what inspires you to do what you do, and then we'll crack on with the questions. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right. So, as you've said, I'm a business strategist and mentor, and I call myself a AI nerd as well, just because I am very into AI at the moment, and it is obviously the future. So, I help people to bridge clever strategy with simple AI in order to build their businesses. So instead of like burning out and all the overthinking and everything that comes with building a business, I help you to find that strategy that fits you. So many people will tell you their strategy works, and they all do, but not every strategy works for every person. We'll have to fit strategies to people. And so it's about knowing your values, your personality, your strengths, and then fitting that strategy to you, because there's no point following strategies that make you feel sick, that you hate. You've got to build a business that you love. And that's what I'm all about, is helping people not only to, achieve those big goals that they've got, but doing it in a way that feels good for them and that supports them and that literally feels good. It's like, instead of just having that business that looks good on the outside, it's having that business that feels good on the inside. That is the main goal. And the reason that I do it is because we'll probably dive into this a little bit more, but so 7 years ago I sold a 7-figure wedding and events company because I burnt out. And when I say burnout, we're talking proper burnout, like as in I woke up one morning and I couldn't physically speak. My body had just shut down, and obviously it was really scary, but I was working like 90-100 hour weeks all the time, and I just hit the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. So that's why I'm so passionate now about helping people to go after what they actually want, because I always thought, the 7-figure business, the Range Rover, the designer cars and handbags and all the clothes, that was success. But I learned the hard way that that wasn't success. So that's why now I'm so passionate about, like, working hard is not this badge of honor that it used to be. There's ways to work smart, work clever, use AI in good ways in order to achieve everything you want to achieve, but without sacrificing like your soul, your sanity, and your life at the same time.
So it comes. Thank you for the introductions, first of all. So it comes from within, basically. So it's what inspires you, and obviously whoever you work around and who you work with. Um, find those little, should we say, elements or little. What can we say about what are those little things that you can find in these business owners and you are helping with? So what do they have in common?
So this is the thing. So this is where I'm probably a little bit different, is I use so many different tactics, so many different strategies, because I work with people who they all may want that same end goal, but because everybody's individual, that's why you've got to have all these different pieces that pull together. And I will say that in the last 7 years, I've never ever given somebody the same strategy as somebody else, because everybody is different. So we have to look at it as little building blocks. So we look at, like I say, what do you enjoy? What do you hate? What's your personality like? What is it you actually want to achieve? So, like, because different things will achieve different things. So there's only 3 things I say that people really need. You need a way to get an audience, or build your audience. You need an offer that people actually want and solves a specific problem. And then you need a way of selling it and delivering it. Those 3 things is all you need, but there's hundreds of different ways to do those 3 different things. So this is why it's so important to know the person. Like when you see a mass group course, what they don't tell you is like, oh yes, we've had thousands of people go through this course and it's worked for, but what about the other thousands it hasn't? Because it's a generic tactic. And it's not that it doesn't work, it does. It's just that for some people it won't, because it doesn't align with who they are, what their strengths are, what they're, what they actually want to achieve. And I'm very much for opening that can of worms and saying to people, like, sometimes the generic is not going to work for you. And this is why so many people feel let down, or in the coaching industry and in the online sort of courses world, so many people have been let down because they've been promised the world, and it hasn't worked for them. So they're like, oh, well, it doesn't work for me. But they're not the problem. It's because they're being told that this tactic's going to work or this strategy is going to work for them. But really, the caveat is you're probably 50% will, 50% it won't.
Yes, so each to everyone, it must be like a tailored strategy, going deep into details, understanding the ins and outs of the business, and so on. So we have women in business, obviously in the community. They are not just startups; they've been in the business for some time, but they still feel like pulled in different directions. There are so many trends, strategies. You just mentioned strategies and coaching programs. And if it's not a coaching, is some sort of other programs that people are following and are keen to join or have joined in the meantime. So they're trying to be everywhere at once, so
Oh,
to speak.
yes.
Now, from your experience, I'm sure you have met plenty of business owners, not necessarily female founders. They can be also anyone in the business. But from your experience, how can they cut through that noise? It's so much going on, right? And focus on that one strategy. Because you said different strategies, right? So they've experimented with everything, but they still are, oh, but I want to try this one. It looks good. Oh, it's calling me. It's like relatable. Now, how
Yeah.
do we do that?
So it's September, as we know. This is crazy month in the online business world. Already, what are we at? 10 past 12 on the 1st of September, and I bet your inbox is blown up. Your Instagram feed is full of this thing's going to be the best thing ever that's going to save your business, and this is the thing that you need. And through September, we'll be told that thousands of times because everybody's got the thing that's going to work for you. So this is why you need to be really clear on what your goals are, because it's so easy to get like shiny object syndrome. Like I say, this is 7 years of me coaching, but it's 20 years this year since I set my first business up. So 20 years in, I still get shiny object syndrome. I see something and go, oh, that's amazing. That'd be really good. So what I always say to people is know your goals. So you should have really 3 main goals. So like mine at the minute is around audience growth, sales, which to be honest, they should be 2 of your things every year. But also for me, it's more live speaking. So like speaking on more stages, podcasts, in summits, etc. So those are 3 main goals. So everything I see, I'm kind of like, right, does it lead to one of those 3 goals? Is that going to actually help me fulfill those 3 things? If not, it's not a case of you going, all right, well, it was a nice idea. You'd go, right, we'll park it. It's not a not, it's just a not now. It doesn't have to be a not forever, because obviously your goals and what you're sort of concentrating on is going to change. So what I did is, because this is something that so many people have an issue with, I built an AI assistant who actually helps for this. So you go on and you basically can say to her, she's called AI Ali, she's free, so if anybody wants her, just let me know. She's called AI Ali. And basically you can go in and say, I've seen this offer. So say you've got the URL to it. I've seen this offer. Here's the URL. Can you please help me decide whether this is the right offer for me right now, if it's in alignment with me, if it's going to help me reach my goals. And she'll literally ask you question by question and talk you through why it would be good for you, why not, and help you to just understand, because marketing these days is amazing. As we know, we're getting so good at marketing. NLP means that because people know how to trigger certain emotions in you. So they trigger emotional selling, they trigger all of these things inside of you. So it's so easy to go, this is the thing for me. Or if you're an emotional person, which most women are, you know what I mean? We're going to be like taking those emotional decisions. So this basically helps you to remove the emotion and go through the logic. So it's like a case of, is this going to help you to hit one of your goals? Is it actually in alignment? Is it the way you like to work? So like, sometimes a course might be a case of, oh, well, actually it'll help us hit my goal, but the way that they do things may not fit you, because things like, if I hate hard selling, that's something I'm not for, but other people love hard selling. So it depends, again, if they're going to teach you, all right, you have to reach out and cold DM people for the next 10 days, and you just go, oh my God, that makes me feel sick. That's not the thing for you. So this is why I love AI, because it's not just about like captions. We've seen everybody using AI for captions and marketing. This is also like, it can be a thought partner for you. So like, this is why I thought so many people are pulled all over the place. What can we do to help people just make that logical decision, take the emotion out of it, take like the sting, take the urgency and that FOMO out? And that's what she does. So you literally can go in. Imagine that she's either your business bestie, or she is your strategist or your mentor, and you can go and talk to her like a human being and just ask all these questions, and she'll come back, ask you questions, and mirror back to help you make a decision.
That's impressive. Thank you, Gina. That looks a really great use of AI. Obviously, we talk about AI so many times. Just a quick disclaimer: everything we talk in the podcast, in the live session or recorded sessions, it's opinion based, so we don't force. It's not imperative, and everybody has their own opinions and the freedom, obviously, to talk about what they think and how they think and what can be relevant to the audience in this case. Yes, now this is one of the clarity moments that I'm sure many women in this today, as soon as they are tuned in this session, they will go back to ChatGPT or any AI. I'm not an affiliate, by the way, but they will go back and they will use the trick you just mentioned. That's amazing, but it comes with a but, obviously. I want to understand. There is so much. Again, there is so much information. So they are using AI, but I'm wondering if at that point AI will create some sort of procrastination moment, if it makes sense. So it's kind of kicking you a little bit because you are thinking more strategically, but on the other hand, you are also blocking yourself from being visible. Would that be the case?
So with AI, it's down to how you use it. So AI is a tool. It's always the person behind the AI, which is how it's used. So if you are finding that it's stopping you from moving forward, the best thing you can do is at the end of sort of like, so say you say, is this the right thing for me? And it says like, no, at the minute, that course or that thing isn't the right thing. You could say, right, knowing what you do now about what I want, what do you suggest I can do to move forward? Can you give me 3 steps to help me move forward, make them small steps to stop me from procrastinating? So AI can actually help you do that. If you are not a lover of AI, which I know lots of people aren't, it's a lot of the time what I find is that it is a fear. So what I will say with AI is there is ways of not sharing your data. So you can do this and you can use AI by switching data sharing off. So you don't, all that stuff you're putting in, you don't have to share. It's like, it's not going out in the public domain. And I think a lot of people worry about that. But what I've found is by using AI like that, it helps you actually recenter and be able to make decisions yourself. So what I'm finding is my clients, they go and they'll use AI Ally, but then what happens is that they'll use it a few times and then something else will come along and they think, actually, do you know what? I know what the answer is to this now. I'm starting to learn, because it's mirroring you back. It's not telling you the answer. What it's doing is just mirroring what you're saying back to it. So then you are learning more and more. Well, actually, you're asking these questions instead of AI Ally asking you. You're starting just to ask those questions in your head. So actually, it's helping you to be better at making decisions in yourself and to trust your gut again. So then the idea is that you might just need her for really big decisions, and all those little decisions, now you're actually comfortable with making those because you know your values, you know who you are as a person, you know what you like and you don't like because you've been through those things. And it's actually a stepping stone to help you move forward. So again, used in the right way, I'm not saying become reliant on every single thing ask her. It's going to help you actually to start understanding you better. And that's like a really key thing, because I'm not about replacing humans. I'm about how can AI amplify you? How can it help you become a better person and things? Because that's the difference. It's the human behind the AI. So again, all of my clients who have come and have been a bit skeptical have gone away and worked on it. And because this is why I say used wisely, not widely, because if you use it correctly and you're shown the correct ways to do it, that's when it's going to help you. That's when it's going to build. And that's when you're actually going to see what I mean about the human behind the AI.
Amazing. That's very good. Thank you so much, Gina. By the way, we're going to have a masterclass in 2 weeks' time, the 23rd of September, within our community, and it will be all about AI. We will have a special guest, so a specialist in AI and a consultant. So that's pretty good connection. So it links up with our conversation right now. So Gina, something about service providers. I'm sure you work more with service providers rather than
Yeah.
product-based businesses. Yes. So we do the same in the community. We have mostly service providers, but as well, I offer support for that group segment of the market. But the question is, so going back to the question really, uh, we've got AI. It has simplified our life at some point with few things if you know how to use it again, strategically speaking. But there is an imbalance, not about AI. It's not about AI, but it's a little bit of imbalance when it comes to the need for visibility with the desire to keep things simple. So now AI, we assume or we presume, keeps things simple, so helps us, streamlines and supports us in our journey as a business owner. But can we do? What's your advice for showing up consistently without taking over the desire to keep things simple? So, what is the balance?
So it's about not thinking that you have to be everywhere. Like, we get pulled in by these big businesses or these people that you see that's got a personal brand that are on every single channel that are all over the place. And what we forget is they've got like teams behind them. Then it's not just, even though you just see them all over the place, they've got all these teams behind them. So unless you get to that point where you've got a massive team behind you doing all of the thing and you're just having to do that front facing, it's impossible to show up everywhere really well. So what I say to people is like, pick, say, like 2 social media channels and another 1 or 2 ways to be visible, because people always just think of social media as the only way. But like, pick sort of a couple of things that you can do and really go all in. So like I say, with social media, pick like 2 channels, go all in on those, make sure that you're doing it really well. But it doesn't mean that you have to show up every single day. I've got some clients that post 3 times a week. It is quality over quantity. So for example, if you want to make really good use of something, blogging is a thing that's doing really well now because sorry to sort of talk AI, but AI obviously reads blogs now. And so if somebody's searching, a lot of people don't search in Google anymore, they'll go into AI and search in AI. So if you blog, AI obviously scrapes the internet. And if you've got a blog and then you've used that blog and you've repurposed it into, say, an Instagram like caption, a reel, or a LinkedIn newsletter, do you know what I mean? Like, AI will see it across those different things and it'll help you show up better. So it's about, like I say, doubling down. Like, where do you want to be seen? How do you want to be seen? What do you enjoy? Like, because if you hate certain things, it's going to show. So it's finding that pattern. Like I say, some people are absolutely fine turning up on Instagram and doing 2 posts a day. They enjoy it. That's great for them. Other people might do 3 posts a week and they'll still get as much interaction because, like I say, it's that quality over quantity. Like, do you enjoy doing things like going and speaking on podcasts, speaking on stages? There's things like, say, online summits. There's bundles. If you've come across bundles where you give away like a digital product and you can go out that way. There's like so many different ways of being seen that it's a case of deciding what actually aligns with you. So like, a lot of people will always come from your ideal client, but first of all, what do you actually enjoy? Then where are your ideal clients? Where does that 2 things meet? So what you enjoy plus your ideal clients there. And then like, what is your kind of rhythm? Like I say, because just those people that are always there, it doesn't mean that they're getting the interaction. They might, like, get 100 likes, say, on a post, but that doesn't always convert into clients, and that's the other thing. It's like this vanity metrics thing. So that's why I'm saying, like, look at what you enjoy, look at where you going to show up in your best self, how you do it as well. Because some people are very good at talking, some people are very good at writing. So you don't have to be this loud person. You don't have to be, on camera all the time. I will caveat that to say I don't like faceless accounts personally, because I think that we are what makes a difference. Like, as in, with the age of AI, anybody can now go and bang out a load of blogs, and that's not disservice to anybody. Lots of people put a lot of effort into writing a blog, but other people will go on AI and let AI write it, and they've got these faceless accounts. And now your face and your voice is what's going to make you stand out. So if you can do some talking, it's always going to be better than none, but it doesn't have to be that way if you absolutely hate it. But like I say, it is definitely finding what's in alignment with you. Don't chase all the shiny objects. Don't go after vanity metrics. Don't worry about, what everybody else is doing. Like, my coach always says to me, blinkers on. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just worry about you and do it your way, because that's what's going to shine through. And it's so true. And like, I love that saying when she always says it. And I was like, I've now like adopted it, because it is so easy just to sort of go, well, they do this, but you don't know what their strategy is behind the scenes and what else they're doing. So that's why, like I say, figure out your way and your path. And I know that sounds like such a simple thing, but honestly, if you show up doing something you enjoy, that's what's going to shine through.
Very good. Thank you very much, Gina. I think you have touched many points. So they are all tied together with the questions that I had planned, and some that we discussed just now in our chat. But I want to go back to a little bit to the clarity moment. So clarity, I people, as you said, they want, but they don't know if they want something, because they see someone else and they think it's good for them, it's relevant to them, it works for them, and therefore they go and apply that in their business. Now, what are some steps that you can share with us? I don't want many steps. You can share 1, 2, or 3 steps if that works for you. That women can take today, they to help them actually to grow without the burnout, especially when it comes to staying visible. Because as you mentioned, we have the shiny objects. We see them every second, right? So back and forth, or just in front of us. But what is one or few steps, if you can share with us today?
So when it comes to knowing what you actually want, when I do this with my clients and they say, I want 6-figure business, I'm like, why? What does that actually mean to you? Like, what does having a 6-figure business give you? Because it's very easy when you see all these people going 10K months, 15K months, 6-figure years, 7-figure years, multi 6 figures and all of that. But what does that actually mean? What does it look like? Because depending on your business model, you could look at it and go, right, I want a 6-figure year. In order to do that, you're going to have to work 50 hours a week because of what you're selling and the price points and things, say, and it's going to turn into 50 hours a week. Do you actually want to work that many hours a week? And then they're like, well, no. I'm like, so do you really want a 6-figure year? And it's that sort of thing that you've got to ask yourself. If that's the clarity, if you say, I want something, why? What will it mean in your life? What will it look like? How will it show up? How will it impact not just your business, but your life? Because that is the thing. Like I say, I had a 7-figure business. I had, like I said, the Range Rover, the designer bags and everything. But when I wasn't at work, I didn't go anywhere because I was too exhausted, because I was doing 90, 100 hours in a week. So then I wasn't seeing my friends. I wasn't going out for meals. I had no lifestyle. So even though I looked like success on paper, it didn't actually give me what I wanted, which was that bit of freedom, being able to do things, spontaneity. Like, the things meant nothing because I didn't have the lifestyle that I wanted. In my head, I would have the Range Rover, but I'd be able to go on nice weekends away in it. Do you know what I mean? It didn't correspond. So that's why I always say, dig deep, look at what that goal is, but what it means translated, and go really, really, really deep. And like I say, if it is a monetary goal, what is it going to take you to hit them? Because a lot of people come to me and they're like, right, I want like a multi 6-figure, I want like 500 grand in a year. And then I look at their price points and go, well, all of those things, you'd have to sell this amount of them in order to actually make that money. And then they're like, oh, And that's what we've got to look at as well. Then it's a case of, right, if you really do want that, but you also want the time and the freedom, we need to look at what you're offering. So this is why it's so, so important to know what your goals are and then what it means and how you would actually, what it would take to achieve them, and whether that then is still what you want.
Excellent. I like that. I like the last bit, definitely the one that you want what you want, how you want it, why you want it, and where it can lead. You need to sell 10,000 products or services. I don't know, power hours or whatever we will call them, in order to get those numbers, or you are streamlining and doing one thing that is totally different and reinventing basically your
Yeah.
business and yourself with a change. Gina, time's almost up. We'll wrap it up shortly, but I want also for you to have, so you have the space here to tell us if you are running any workshop, if you are running a webinar, or ways to connect with you. I'm sure that people can connect on LinkedIn and find you on Instagram. I have found you that way, and you have found me the other way, or in a similar way. But yes, please tell us more. You are free to promote your services here.
So as I've said, AI Ali, if anybody is interested in her, she is free. You can find me on Instagram, so at Gina Trick Strategist. LinkedIn, just a Gina Trick. I am on Facebook, but to be honest, I don't really spend a lot of time there, but there's not many Gina Tricks around, so you'll be able to find me. Just let me know AI Ali, and like I say, I'll send you the link. I am running an in-person event in London on the 4th of November. It is called The Edge, and it's how to stand out in a crowded market. So it is aimed at people who are feeling all this noise and they're like, how do I actually break through this noise? Because there's so many people that do what I do, and there's all that imposter syndrome going on. So we've got some amazing speakers. So like Lisa Johnson, who is a global strategist. We've got myself, Kay Sufa, who's a podcast strategist. I'll not name everybody because they're getting announced at the minute. But basically, it's all different people from all different backgrounds with different expertise. And we're not just sharing like the fluffy kind of, oh, this would be nice, or inspiration. Every single person is given you one thing you can walk out of that room and put into action the very next day. Plus we've got some like networking going on in there. There's VIP tickets where you can actually have dinner with the speakers, and there is literally 20 people in the room, that's it. So it's very small and intimate. So that is The Edge. It's on, like, again, it's ginatrick.com/the edge. But again, if you want the details, I can send those through. It's absolutely going to be amazing. We've made it so different. There's only 50 tickets and we haven't got many of them left, to be honest, because we've kept it intentionally small and very intimate, so that again everybody's got that time. So we've got that going on. And then if you want to know more about AI, if you want to know more about how to bridge your strategy with AI, which is not being funny, but I'm the only person that's really doing this at the minute, actually helping you to figure out the strategy, then put the AI into place, because just learning AI without the strategy, or just learning the strategy without AI, is never going to get you the results as fast as they can together. You can come and ask me questions. I am an open book. I'm really, really passionate about teaching people how to use AI well. So if you've got questions, if you've got reservations, my inbox is always open. You can DM me. It is me. I don't have a robot doing that. I've got robots doing a lot of things, but I am actually in my DMs. So you do actually speak to a human, you
Amazing.
speak to me. So there's a few ways.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Gina. You are welcome to put the links in the event link, and any other link in the chat, in the thread, basically, under the event page. And
Excellent.
I'm sure people will come to you and ask you questions, obviously, if they have any. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for being a guest today. And thank you, everybody, for staying tuned and otherwise watching the replay. I'm sure you will. Stay tuned next week, Monday, 12 p.m. UK time, for another episode with another stellar, not coach. I'm not sure who will be. I've got the lineup, but I'm not going to reveal it to you until closer to the date. So, yeah, watch this space. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care.